Okay, this video is over page 2 of the study guide. So, what is the momentum needed to stop a 2,000 kilogram mass traveling at 10 meters per second? Okay, well, the first thing is you would want to write the momentum equation. Momentum equals mass times velocity. Then you're just going to substitute in the numbers. Momentum equals the mass, 2,000 kilograms, times 10 meters per second. And so if you multiply all that out, the momentum equals 20,000. Now remember to do the units correctly. On momentum, the units don't cancel out. So you just have a kilogram times a meter per second. Okay, find the velocity of a 30-gram egg falling with a momentum of 90 kilograms meters per second. Okay, so the first thing is you would have the momentum triangle, and this will help you switch the variables around. So you would have momentum on the top, mass, velocity right here. And so if you cover up the one that you need, so we're looking for velocity. So velocity equals the momentum divided by the mass. So if you cover up the one you need, it says to take the P over the M. Okay, now another thing, a tricky part, is you cannot work in grams. Momentum has to be in kilograms. So before you substitute anything in, you need to do a metric conversion. And so 30 grams goes there. And then you'll put the metric conversion, which I'll have written on the board in case you forget it. But for every 1 kilogram, there's 1,000 grams. All right, notice how I have grams diagonal from grams, so they cancel. So 30 divided by 1,000 is 0.030, so 0.030 kilograms. Okay, now you can come back over here, and velocity equals the momentum, 90 kilograms meters per second, divided by 0.03 kilograms. And so one good thing about writing the units, you should see that the kilograms cancel, and that leaves you with meters per second. So if the right units, like if you forgot and had grams down here, then it wouldn't cancel. So then anyway, you could do the math there, and you would get 3,000 meters per second. Wow, that's a fast egg. All right, number 3. So a group of students, they have this car with collision carts on a track, and one car is moving to the right with a momentum of 32 kilogram meters per second. Okay, so we'll call that cart 1. So 32 kilograms meters per second. Hits cart 2. Cart 2 is moving to the left. And because it's going to the left, we're going to assign a negative momentum to that because it would have a negative velocity, which leads to a negative momentum. Okay, now the thing to remember about momentum, and I like to write this down here at the bottom of this little table, is the total. So the total momentum before, so if you add these two together, 32 plus negative 24, that's going to equal 8 kilograms meters per second. Well, the total momentum before has to equal the total momentum afterwards. So I like to just write that right there because they have to be equal. All right, now it's going to hit cart 2, moving at the left. So after the collision, cart 2 moves to the right. So to the right is a positive number, remember? 12 kilograms meters per second. So what does cart 1 have to be? Okay, so what number plus 12 equals 8? And the answer to that is negative 4 kilograms meters per second. So you can try this. If you have a calculator, you could add those, and that's going to equal a positive 8 kilograms meters per second. Just remember that the momentum before has to equal the momentum afterwards. All right? So the cart 1 is negative 4. Okay, 2 train cars are moving towards each other, but they are on the same track. Train car A is 1,200, so we got to get the momentum. So we got to do with the momentum, so we're going to do this equation, mass times velocity. And so we're going to take 1,200 kilograms times 8 meters per second. And so that's going to equal 9,600 kilograms meters per second. Okay, and then train car B is 1,000 kilograms, and it's moving west at a negative 5 meters per second. That's supposed to be a negative. And so that's going to give you a negative 5,000, or no, that would be, yeah, negative 5,000 kilograms meters per second. Now, if you add those together, that's going to give you the total. And so 9,600 plus a negative 5, okay, is going to equal a positive 4,600 kilograms meters per second. So you'll want to find the total, because the total before equals the total afterwards. That's called the conservation of momentum. All right, now over here. All right, so they collide. After they collide, car A has a momentum of 3,000. So this is 3,000 kilograms meters per second. And so what does cart B have to have? Okay, I think it's supposed to be a train, not carts. But anyway, so 3,000 plus what number equals 4,600? Okay, well, you could just go 4,600, subtract 3,000 if you wanted to do it that way, and you would get 1,600 kilograms meters per second. Then just double check, if you add these two together, does that equal 4,600? And it does. Okay, that's it with page 2.